All right, let's jump right in. We're going to deconstruct this ancient poem, Psalm 50. And trust me, it's almost 3,000 years old, but it reads less like scripture and way more like a high-stakes courtroom drama. Seriously, we're talking about a trial on a cosmic scale.
So the scene opens with this just incredible sweeping declaration. Right away, you know this is not your average court date. A summons is being sent out to the entire planet, from east to west. I mean, the gravity of this moment is huge, and from the very first line, you just know something major is about to go down. And just like that, with that one summons, court is in session. No messing around, no delays. The judge is here.
So you might be picturing a courtroom, right? With, wood-paneled walls and a jury box. Yeah, forget all that. This courtroom, it's the entire cosmos. And everyone, all of creation, is being called to watch what happens.
Okay, let's check out the key players here, like we're reading the court docket. Now here's where it gets interesting. The judge? He's also the plaintiff, the one making the accusation. And the defendant? It's not some enemy. It's God's own people, Israel. And with the heavens and the earth as witnesses, man, the stage is set for something truly epic.
And that's really what makes this whole thing so personal, you know? This isn't an external fight, it's an internal dispute. The charge is being laid against the very people who have this special binding agreement, a covenant with the judge himself. That just raises the stakes sky high.
All right, so that brings us to the big moment, the indictment. Now, given that this whole relationship is built on a covenant by sacrifice, pretty much everyone involved, the defendant, the witnesses, even us reading along, we all think we know what's coming.
I mean, think about it for a second. If your whole religious system is built around very specific rituals and offerings, what's the #1 crime you could possibly commit in that system?
Right. The obvious answer, the conventional wisdom, is that they've been slacking off. They must not be making enough sacrifices, or maybe they're doing the rituals wrong. It seems like a total open and shut case. But then, bam! In this absolutely stunning twist, the judge just throws the whole case out. He basically looks at the defendant and says, nope, that's not what this is about. Your sacrifices, they're constant. I see them all the time. That is not the problem here. And this is the moment the entire trial just pivots on a dime. And this next line explains exactly why he doesn't care about their performance. God says, if I were hungry, I wouldn't tell you. Why? Because he owns the whole world and everything in it. The point is, he's not some needy God who depends on them for dinner. The sacrifices were never for his benefit. And that just completely reframes the whole point of worship, doesn't it?
Okay, so if the crime isn't about messing up the rituals, then what is the real accusation? Now the trial gets to the real heart of the matter. And believe me, it's way more serious than just forgetting to bring an offering.
The real charge, the one that actually matters, it's hypocrisy. The issue isn't what they're doing at the altar. It's the massive gaping chasm between the faith they talk about and the lives they're actually living.
And now the prosecution lays out the evidence point by point, and wow, is it damning. Just listen to this pattern. You recite my laws, but you hate my instruction. You see a thief, and you join him. You hang out with adulterers. You use your mouth for evil, your tongue for deceit. You even slander your own family. It's this deep, deep disconnect between their words and their actions.
And this next part, this gets to the absolute core of their delusion. They confused God's patience for his approval. They thought that just because lightning didn't strike, God must be totally fine with their behavior, that he must be, in their words, exactly like you. But the silence is over, and now the judge is laying it all out on the table.
But, this whole courtroom drama isn't just about condemnation. In another surprising turn, the judge doesn't just hand down a sentence. He actually gives the defendant a clear path to getting acquitted.
And here it is. It's like a 3-step prescription for what real worship is supposed to look like. #1, offer genuine thanks, not as a transaction, but from the heart. 2, fulfill your vows. Basically, live with integrity and keep your promises. And 3, call on God when you're in trouble. Live in a real relationship of dependence, not just duty.
Do you see the focus here? It's a total shift. Real worship isn't about what you do in a temple. It's about your internal posture, lived out in the real world. It's all about gratitude, integrity, and dependence.
So, how does this whole trial wrap up? Well, after completely dismantling their fake idea of worship and laying out the real version, the judge is ready to deliver his final verdict.
And here it is, the main takeaway, the central ruling from this cosmic court boiled down to one simple idea. True worship is a life, not just a ritual.
This final verse just seals the deal. It says that true honor comes from a life of gratitude. That's the real thank offering. And salvation, or deliverance, is promised to the blameless. In other words, the ones who live with integrity. It perfectly sums up that path to acquittal we just talked about.
So, why does any of this matter? Why are we digging into a 3,000-year-old poem? Because this ancient trial, it speaks to one of the most timeless human struggles there is, right? That tension between our outward appearance and our inner reality, between looking the part and actually living it.
And at the end of the day, this psalm leaves us with a question that goes way beyond any single religion or time period. It's a question for every single one of us to think about. What's the real difference between just looking good and actually being good?